All right. I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise said that. That's his famous catchphrase. All right. I can't remember how the rest of it goes. It's all right, something. Wait, was it Tom Cruise or Leonardo DiCaprio? It was Ryan Gosling. From his famous film, Saturday Night Fever. Starring Olivia Newton-John in a standout role of her performance in Korea. I was going to get a haircut today, and then I didn't. So that's yet another thrilling tale of adversity faced, and then I guess not triumph, but I'm sure there's a moral in there somewhere. Never give up trying to get a haircut, because I haven't given up. I'm going to try again tomorrow. I'm going to do it. I am. Well, I'm alive. And I'm still alive. Still very, very live. Still very, very still alive. You're watching No Pictures of a Bird, a podcast by Mr. Tapscott. I'm Mr. Tapscott. Now, if you're watching this in Sydney right now on Sunday at around 5:23 p.m, give or take approximately, you'll know that it's pissing with rain. And guess where I am? Not in any. I'm in. I'm not out there in the rain. I'm in here, being dry, drinking coffee, the way God intended. We have got another cracking episode today. It's a cracker. It's one of the ones, like, just when you think you can't make your enemies cry anymore. Turns out, no, you can. You can. Yeah. We've got a bit of housekeeping. Joining me, as always, Tara Bennett, represented here by this candle. She smells fantastic. Don't forget, I'm getting married. Don't forget, she's richer than you, smarter than you, prettier than you, better than you at making candles, better than you at baking cakes, better than you at making coffee, better than you at making tea. She's got better taste in men than you, obviously. She's better. This one really pisses people off, but she's definitely fuck your boyfriend, and she was definitely better at it than you. She's better in bed than you. I'm prepared to make that claim. It's true. She's richer than you. And Kitty Callahan, represented here by the Gunner Island Cup. Don't forget they murdered penguins. She's richer than you, cooler than you, smarter than you, better than you, more accomplished than you. She's done more in the last 6 months than you ever have or ever will ever achieve in your entire lives. That's Kitty Callahan. AKA Jesus Christ. Yeah. Yeah, so let's start with a bit of housekeeping. This is fucking driving everyone batshit nuts apparently. But I finally taken I'm not just on Spotify anymore. Before I was just on YouTube and Spotify. But the thing is about Spotify is it's got an RSS feed. And I didn't really knew what that meant. But basically what it means is you can get a little link. And I don't have to, instead of having to upload each individual fucking episode to each individual podcasting platform, you just share this one link and it does it automatically. So I've done that. And now I'll show you. So this is Spotify. Show settings. That's the link to the show. RSS distribution. So all I have to do is copy that and then share it with Amazon. And I'm now on Amazon. Yeah, I'm on Amazon. Apple fucked me around. We'll come back to them. I'm on Castbox. I'm on iHeartRadio. Good Pods fucked me around. I'm on Overcast. No, sorry, Overcast fucked me around. Good Pods didn't fuck me around. So I'm on Amazon, Castbox, Good Pods, iHeartRadio, Overcast fucked me around, and Pocket Casts, which has just expanded my audience by about, it's nearly tripled my audience, what I'm being told. And most importantly, I'm now on TikTok. I'm on TikTok. Has no pictures of a bird. Yeah. Yeah. And everyone, my enemies are fucking fuming. They're fucking fuming. They're like, no. Especially in America. Because in America, like, Spotify's not the biggest one. I think in the USA, like Apple, and Apple just fucked me around. They just went like, nah, they just won't let me do it. They're like, oh, you need to have an Apple ID. And so I was like, all right, I'll sign up for one of those. And they're like, oh, you gotta update your billing information. And then I tried to do it, and I was just like, nah, it won't work. Nah. It's like, well, here's my credit card. Put in my credit card number. It's like, no. It's like, you can try PayPal. You tried PayPal. It's like, no. It just won't work. It just won't add it. Oh, that's weird. So I called them. They're like, oh, yeah, we'll look into it for you, and put me on hold. Then I was on hold for about half an hour. I'm like, nah, fuck this. Yeah. And it was just like, yeah. And then it was like, because I've got the two-factor authentication. And it's like, so you try and log in, and it will say like, oh, we'll send a code to we'll send an SMS, we'll SMS a code to your phone. And then you would need that to log in. And then it just stopped working. It's like, nah, codes can't be sent to this number at the moment. And then that was it. It's just straight up. They're not even really pretending. They're just straight up cock blocking me. Yeah. But I don't really need them, to be honest with you. Because Amazon's massive. Because Amazon Music is also Audible. So now I'm on Amazon Music. I'm on Spotify and Amazon Music and Audible. Audible is huge. Audible is massive. Yeah. Because they pump heaps of budget into advertising Audible. And all the while, you're vacuuming the rug. You know that shit. Yeah. Yeah.
You were bound by the chains of duty, led here by fate's cruel hand, until destiny lit the fire within, and your love turned the whole world on its head. You were bound by the chains of duty, led here by fate's cruel hand, until destiny lit the fire within, and your love turned the whole world on its head. And all the while, you were watching pants dry. Audible. There's more to imagine when you listen.
Yeah, so I'm on that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. I'm now being told by a bunch of people in the States, via Space Magic, they're like, oh, bro, you can sue the shit out of Apple if you wanted to. They don't let you on. They don't let you on Apple podcasts. Yeah. Because they don't have a reason. It's like, yeah. It's discrimination on the basis of religion, which is unconstitutional. Yeah, you can take them to the Supreme Court and just absolutely fucking rinse them. Yeah, and it's Apple. So they can afford it. Yeah. So it's like, if you take a percentage of their earnings, it's like, well, this is what, yeah. You get a percent, like 1% of $1 trillion is a lot of fucking money. Yeah. All right. So stay tuned, Apple. I'll see you in court. I'll do my own lawyering. Yeah, it'd be easy. Yeah, and I'll just get like and now a bunch of lawyers are saying like, yeah, we'll do it fucking pro rata, pro bono, or whatever. Yeah, no win, no fee. If we win, we'll take a percentage. We'll take a cut. We'll just split it with you. All right, done. Done. Yeah, and then once I'm on iTunes, it's fucking over. Yeah, because then I'm on all of them. I'm on all of the iPod. I'm on all of the podcasting stations. Yeah, and just like that, like fucking tripled my audience basically. But it's interesting because like Spotify started when I first started doing it. Spotify was like and going up and up and up and up. And then everyone started, all of my audience started dying. And now it's just like, YouTube's going gangbusters because of the shorts. Yeah. The shorts are doing really well. And so the next step as well after this, and that's what TikTok is for. So it's just like, look, it's this window dressing. You want to lure people in. It's like, what is this? Who is this guy? And then a couple of them click. And if you can get like, so I've had nearly 1,000 views on TikTok. And so if you can just get 1%, if you get like 10,000 views and 1% click through and actually listen, then it's like, So, but it's early days, I haven't even been going for 6 months yet, I think. Yeah. Oh, maybe I've just been going for 6 months. So if these trends continue, But the strategy is working, which is just to pump it out. You just keep pumping it. You just spam the shit out of you just completely spam the shit out of all the channels. Just like as long as there's stuff going live every day, bang, 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 bang. That's what you want. Yeah. Just get the stock on the shelves. That's it. You just want the stock on the shelves. And then once the shop is full and all the stock is on the shelves, you've got your Costco. There's no empty spots. You've got your Bunnings. You've got your Bunnings warehouse. There's no empty slots. There's no empty space. Every shelf has something on it. And then once everything's full and the shop's open, then you start like pruning. You start optimizing. It's like, okay, that lawnmower didn't sell. No one wanted the old school lawnmower, the unpowered one. We'll get rid of that. We'll take that away. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing now. Yeah. Good times. I do have some dog shit to slay now. Spotted this today. Because the fight continues. There is still dog shit out there. Lingering dog shit. I think British SAS is still a bit of a problem. Australian SAS, they're gone. Yeah. But British SAS are still kind of annoying. The US military is still extraordinarily, extremely annoying. Losers. Yeah, because it's so ingrained. It's so ingrained in their culture. Yeah. And they're so, it's interesting. It's really interesting, actually, because it's like, they're all like, they're so used to fighting gun rights activists. Whereas like, no, you can't take my gun. It's like, I'm not trying to take your gun. We're not trying to take your guns. What? We've just got bigger guns. Yeah. Oh, no. Oh, fuck. Yeah. They didn't think they'd have to fight the bigger gun nuts. Yeah, they didn't think there were bigger gun nuts than them. And then they'd have to fight them. They thought they were the biggest gun nuts. Yeah. It's like, nah, no one's a crazier gun owner than I am. Yeah. I got a militia. I'm armed to the teeth. It's like, well, you are armed to the teeth. However, we have bigger teeth and we're armed to them. Sorry, chumps. So there is still a bit of dog shit out there, which we have to slay now. Okay, so I spotted this one today. Yeah, so I am a fan of Valia. I've spoken about probiotics before. And one of their favorite tactics, one thing that they've done recently, this is Nazis doing it. SAS were involved in this. Because SAS are Nazis, as we've established. The SAS are the SS. They are the Waffen SS. And I've said on previous videos that the Nazis were spiking alcohol with iodine, and that was the SAS doing that. The Australian SAS and the British SAS were doing that, and that's to basically quietly discourage you from drinking. And they don't just do it with they haven't just been doing it with alcohol. They haven't just been doing it with alcohol. They've been doing it with food like chocolate and cookies, and Aldi did all of it. Like pretty much every food item that you could buy from Aldi. Oh yeah, big thunderclap. Every food item that you could buy from Aldi was spiked with iodine. So what iodine does? Yeah. So iodine, it appears naturally. You can get iodine. Yeah, there's heaps of iodine in like fish products and seaweed and things like that. Yeah, it's in a lot of stuff naturally. Like iodine naturally occurs, and it's not toxic just on its own. If like you, no matter what you do, you're always going to be consuming some iodine, and you actually need it. You need some iodine. However, too much iodine starts to fuck you up. So too much iodine, often caused by excessive supplementation, seaweed consumption, or certain medications, can lead to severe thyroid dysfunction, hypothyroidism or hypothyroidism, gotcha, thyroiditis, and in rare high-dose cases, acute poisoning with symptoms like burning mouth, nausea, fever, and confusion. While rare from diet alone, toxic levels can cause long-term health effects. So you get thyroid issues. Yeah, you get thyroid issues, but basically what it means, it stops your body. Yeah, hang on, I'll Google that too. Basically, it stops your body effectively digesting and converting it to protein for use in your brain. Thyroid issues occur when the gland produces too much or too little hormone, affecting metabolism, energy, and body temperature. Yeah, metabolism, that's the main one. Fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance, constipation, dry skin, depression, thinning hair, and slow heart rate. Yeah. Yeah. High cholesterol, fertility issues, severe cases, coma. Yeah. Overactive. Yeah. Anyway, that's the main one. Fatigue, weight gain, cold intolerance, constipation, dry skin, depression, thinning hair, and slow heart rate. Yeah. So if you're getting spiked with iodine, that's what happened to you, and that's what happened to Daz. That's what happened to Cooksuck. So what they'll do is they'll find out what you eat. Like they've done it. Yeah. The Aldi did the whole lot. They did everything. So pizza. It's really bad. Like it's really easy to spike. Domino's did it. It's really easy to spike a pizza because you just sprinkle a little bit of extra fucking iodine. Like a certain ingredient is already in the pizza bases. You just sprinkle a little bit more in there, and then that pumps up the iodine. And then when you eat a pizza, it's like just on its own, it's not noticeable. Like it won't make you throw up. You'll eat it. It'll go in, but then you'll just feel a bit off. And the way you look, because it'll stop you, because it suppresses your metabolism, which means it stops your body producing red blood cells, or it reduces your body's ability to produce red blood cells and metabolize properly. So it makes you look bloated and it makes you look pale. And see, that's what I noticed about Daz just before he died. Is I saw him on the street, and he looked bloated and he looked pale. And it looks like fucking hell, man, you've been smashing the piss. He makes you look like you've been smashing the piss heaps. It makes you look unhealthy. But it's actually you've been poisoned by iodine, and that's what happened. They found out what wine he liked, and then they replaced that wine or they spiked it with iodine, so he's getting too much iodine, and then it makes him look, oh wow, he's not looking after himself, and then he dies of a heart attack. But it's actually they poisoned him. Yeah. And so they've done it with pizza, like Domino's Pizza did it. Audi did it with their fucking like frozen pizzas, and the rest of their food. They put iodine in basically everything: chocolate, biscuits, like everything, all of it. Even the meat, they found a way to get it in there. Yeah, the fish especially. So that anything, and the booze, they put iodine in all the booze, and that's true for pretty much all the beer, all the bottled beer. They haven't done it with any tap beer, and they haven't done it with like certain premium wines. But the mid-tier, like all the clean skins are all spiked with iodine. And so if you drink that, you'll feel like shit. It'll be the worst hangover you've ever had in your life. Yeah. Yeah. So that was the SAS doing that. Now, one way, and the other thing that iodine does, too much iodine, it kills your gut bacteria. And your gut bacteria is actually really important for digestion and stuff like that. And so one of the ways you can treat, because I know this because I've got some booze from Aldi, and I consumed it, and I was like, fuck, and it gave me like a really bad hangover, like really bad, and a really bad anxiety hangover, and I looked like shit, I looked bloated, and I looked pale. Yeah, and then Kitty Callahan was like, let's do some Googling, and it turns out it was iodine. Yeah, they put iodine in it. It's like, that's what it is. It makes your shit stink as well, really badly. It smells like really chemically, yeah. But one of the things you can do to, as an antidote, is get not antioxidants, probiotics. So kombucha and probiotic yogurt, because that puts the bacteria back in your gut, and then it helps to kickstart your digestion, and that helps to like turn it back the other way. Reverse the effects of that iodine poisoning, basically. Yeah. And one of the products that I mentioned is this. So this helps. This is a good, solid, readily available antidote to iodine poisoning. Too much iodine. Because they but yeah, they obviously watched the video, and they was like, well, how can we fuck with that? Now, this brand, Valia, isn't actually owned by the Australian SAS. However, the marketing team and the advertising team, the marketing team are connected to the advertising team. The head bone's connected to the knee bone. Yeah. The marketing team are connected to the advertising industry, and the advertising industry are SAS. Now, the team behind this are gone. They're long gone. But they're like, oh, we need a rebrand. And so the Valia tub on the top, that's what it used to be. So it's like nice and light and fun and friendly. Big letters. No squinting. You know what I mean? It's easy. It's easy to recognize. It looks clean. It looks fresh. Big green leaves, you know. Boost digestion. It's got boost digestion and vitality, like right on the, big words, like the benefits got it there. Creamy, natural, delicious. And then the one on the bottom, bleak, Soviet. Here is your food portion. Citizen 1798. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and it looks more medicinal. It looks like it looks like a ration. It looks like a wartime ration. That's what it looks like. Yeah. Yeah. So that's before the rebrand is on the top. That's the regular one. And then after the Nazi SAS/SS rebrand got to it, is on the bottom. Yeah, it's got the cold steel, the silver spoons there, the steel. Yeah, 4.5. Those numbers are dog shit. Yeah, 4 5s, 5 5, 5 5, all good, as they say. Yeah, dog shit. So it's still out there. You got to keep your eyes open. But mostly, the chumps behind that are gone, which is good news for everyone. Especially me, but especially you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. It's a weird flow. I feel like we changed gears. I'm not kidding. Yeah. And that's intentional, is it? Yeah. This is the new, yeah. Just rewatching some of the old episodes, and that's like kind of the cutesy Nick Tapscott. He had to kind of be like radio guy to sucker people in. But now that all those enemies are out of the way, I can be a bit more mature. Which is pretty cool. But that's all right. That's all right. We're still going to have some fun. Aren't we? Well, at least I will. Yeah. But today, so that's kind of the housekeeping out of the way, just those two things. The first one is the headline that I'm now on a bunch of different. So if you've got Amazon Music, you can listen to me there. If you've got iHeartRadio, you can listen to me there. Yeah, what's the... No. All right, I need to get onto YouTube Music, I guess. Yeah. That'll be the big one. Yeah, when I get onto YouTube Music, that'll be sweet. I might do that straight after this. The podcast about making the podcast. It's just like Seinfeld. That's not how you swallow, Nick. It's not how you swallow coffee either. Fuck. Don't inhale coffee. Unless you need to wake up your baby. I think most people are awake now. But anyway, the title of today's video is The Australian SAS had control of the water supply. And we're planning to shut it off. And that's true. That's true. And that's extraordinarily terrifying. Because in a nation like Australia, where it's extraordinarily dry, not having access to fresh, clean drinking water would be catastrophic. It's lethal. Yeah. So when I was driving around, and this is when I thought I was in the SAS, and I thought the SAS were friendly. I thought we were on the same side. I thought we were fighting Nazis. Turns out they are the Nazis. But yeah, we're driving around, me and Kitty Callahan, cruising around in my sister's little car that's gone now. We're checking out all like the different like SA water. Yeah, I'll show you. Yeah. Yeah, so it was out there. Yeah. So the SAS own things like this. This is the SAS. They own Ausgrid. Yeah. So it's like a provider, basically. Yeah. So I think Ausgrid. Yeah, you got to go through AGL or whatever, and then AGL buys it from Ausgrid. But basically, Ausgrid is SAS, and they use it to fuck with you. Like Chris Tapscott. And this happened when I was up at Linwood Lodge. This was Ausgrid that did it, and it happened a couple of times. Yeah, one other thing that happened at Linwood Lodge. I was doing my laundry, and the washing machine there is one of those ones where it's like the lid or the fucking the washing machine required electricity to open the door. So I was doing my laundry, and obviously the spies at Linwood Lodge, the SAS, like knew what was happening because they saw from the camera that it was me doing my laundry. And then they knew the washing machine was on because Ausgrid could tell. It's like, well, where's that power coming from? Okay, that's the power board that's in the laundry. So we know that that's where the power is being consumed. So that means Mr. Tapscott is doing his laundry. So what they did is they sent a power surge through that popped the fuse and knocked out the power to the laundry. And that washing machine was in there specifically because without power, you can't open the door. You can only open the door with power. And so my laundry was stuck in there. They'd done that on purpose to fuck me around. Yeah. So eventually, I got it back. I called the guy, and he's like, "Well, you need to put more money in." It's like, "No, I'm not doing that. Just fucking give me back my clothes, all right?" And then I went and got a t-shirt from Target or whatever. And then later, when I got back, he's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll get your clothes back for you." I was like, "All right, sweet." Yeah, but it's still a head fuck. You got to make phone calls and run around and dog shit. It wastes your time. It's just it's just designed to piss you off. Yeah. Chris Tapscott had quite a nice Bosch dishwasher. Yeah. Yeah, he had quite a nice dishwasher. And it was worth about $2,000. And then one day there was a power surge. And it popped his dishwasher. And it popped his dishwasher, it popped his personal computer, it popped his printer. And then what does he have to do? He has to replace all of that stuff. That was the SAS. That was Osgrid. Fucking around with him. Yeah, just because they could. It was like, well, how do we fuck with this guy? We know he's got money. We know he's got money. We know he's got time. He's retired. He's on a quite not insignificant pension. He just hangs out and counts his cash. Yeah. How do we A, steal some of his money, and B, waste his time? Power surge. Yeah. Yeah. Now, not only did the SAS, so yeah, what I'm trying to establish here is that the SAS, they also own NBN. The SAS are the NBN. That's SAS. Yeah. Not anymore. Yeah. So friendly forces made sure that we locked all that shit down. Because it's quite scary because and it's they've got all that stuff. They've got the power grid. They've got the NBN. They've got the internet. They've got the mobile networks. Well, they didn't really. And that's kind of why they hated Telstra, because Telstra had them. But yeah. So that's why they wanted Telstra out of the way, so they could take the mobile networks. So they could shut. Once their takeover plan kicked off, they could shut down the power grid. They could shut down the power. They could shut down the internet. They could shut down the broadcast media. They could shut down all the TV stations. They could shut down the mobile network. So shut down the phones. And most importantly, via companies like this. Yeah, they had an Origin. Yeah, they had the natural gas. They could shut down the gas supply. That's why this house has gas bottles. It doesn't have a mains gas supply connection. Because if it did have one, they'd try and shut it down. They would. They definitely would. Yeah. But they could also have companies like this. So if they wanted to, they could shut down the water. And that was actually what they were planning. They were literally planning to do this. Yeah. Yeah. So that's them. That's actually them right now. These are they've manufactured these water outages. They've done it. Hazelwood Park, that's them. And this one here in South Terrace, that's them as well. Yeah. These are officially acts of terror. That's an act of terror. Because, you don't know. What if someone's, you could kill people easily. What if there's an emergency? And water is imperative to someone's survival. Yeah. Yeah. What if there's a fire and you can't use the fire hydrant? Yeah. Yeah. So SA Water and yeah. What is it in New South Wales? Yeah, all the That's just one of them. Yeah, so it's Water New South Wales. This is SAS as well. Yeah. Yeah, all the dams. Yeah, so that was the things. This is when I thought that this is when I thought I was on the side of the SAS. Or I thought they were on my side, more accurately. But instead, no. And so we were driving around. It's like, oh yeah. And Kitty Kane was like, yeah, see all the we were driving around all the different water facilities. She's like, yeah, see that? That's like the water main. That's like the water, all the water treatment stations. Yeah, they can shut down the sewage if they wanted to. They could stop water treatment. And then how long would a town last if like the toilets stopped working? You know what I mean? Not long. Everyone would be dead from dysentery within like 2 months. Yeah, especially if they shut the running water off at the same time. You had no clean water supply. You fucked. Yeah. Yeah. So we were driving around to all the reservoirs, all the dams. The reservoirs, the dams, the water treatment facilities. It's like, yeah, that's SAS, that's SAS, that's SAS. And at the time, I was going like, oh, fuel. Well, obviously, yeah, because national defense, like you need to, like, because shutting the water supply would fuck everything up really badly. And so we need those to be defended. So good. I'm glad those are in friendly hands. But then it turns out the SAS are the SS. And that was legitimately what they were planning to do. They were legitimately planning to shut off the water supply to Australia. Now, the timeline was for them, they were going to, 2027. They were going to preemptively attack. They were going to stage a false flag attack. They were going to get a Taiwanese proxy for the Australian SAS to attack China on behalf of Taiwan. And then they had proxies, Chinese proxies, SAS Chinese proxies in China. They were going to attack, like push back. And then that was going to start the invasion. That was going to start the war between China and Taiwan. And then once that happened, they were going to cut the communications. And this is in 2027. That was their timeline. So that was going to happen towards the end of 2027. It was going to escalate into 2028. They were going to stage a couple more false flag attacks in Australia. Pump a shit ton of propaganda out that said Australia is now at war with China. We're under attack. We're at war with China. And then cut all the media, like all of it. Cut all the broadcast signals. Cut all of it. Cut all of the internet. Cut all of the mobiles. So you'd be in the dark. And then not long after that, they'd cut the water. They'd cut the water supply. Yeah. To select, and so what they were kind of trying to do. So I've mentioned before that they do through their network of real estate agents and stuff. They were trying to do like social engineering. It's like, right, well, you're not really Vaucluse material. Maybe you're more of a fucking red fan, and so they get like all the chunks to move to where the people that they didn't like, they'd go Cabramatta, you know. It's like you're Cabramatta, yeah. Maybe you should move there. And then they get everyone to move to Broken Hill. That they don't like. And then they'll just shut the water supply to Broken Hill. Cut the roads off. Shut down the airport. And then they're fucked. Yeah. And that's it. Yeah. And then the towns that they like, the areas that they like, they'll leave the water supply on. But they'll set up roadblocks. Anyone who comes in there trying to get water gets shot dead. Yeah. And that was their plan. Yeah. And then just by doing that, they're planning to wipe out about 2/3 of the Australian population. Yeah. And so if you weren't with the SAS or in the SAS, you were dead. If you were in the SAS, you'd probably get killed in the next couple of years. Because what would start happening is they'd all start just killing each other. Yeah. That's what would be next, you know. Yeah. Wake up, you babies. Yeah. Spastic. Yeah, that's what they thought. Now, they weren't on board with Joe Biden's plan of nuking China, but they were on board with the plan of going to war with China. Like, yeah, we'll go to war with China, but it will just be this long-running there'll be a state of war, but it won't really be like, yeah, there'll be skirmishes here and there, but really, it's just like in the same way that Israel's at war with Hamas, where it's like, oh, we're at war. You got to put up fucking big walls, and you got to have guard towers constantly, and there's going to be like rocket attacks sporadically and shit like that. And it's just basically to keep the population suppressed. Yeah. And it's exactly the plot from this book. Yeah. Because that's what happens in 1984. There's a war somewhere. You don't know anything about the war. You just know that you are at war. And then because of the war, they have to take all these extra security precautions. Oh, and this is around the same time as well. They were going to kill everyone in prison. Yeah. So if you were in jail, you were dead. Yeah, they just poison you. Yeah, they'd poison everyone at the same time. Yeah. And then also that's when they weren't necessarily across the gassing plan that the AFP had. So in the train stations and things like that, that was sort of like the ASIS faction of Nazis. That was the Eddie McGuire Collingwood Nazis. But the SAS absolutely would have adopted that, given the opportunity. Yeah. So so their strategy was, their plan was, you didn't know, you just knew that there was a war. Like Australia would be at war with China. You would know anything about the war, but you would know that was the justification for all the extra security measures, and that's why everyone would need to download the app, carry your phone on you at all times, always have your ID on you. The police would have extra powers to search premises. It would basically be like COVID lockdown, Melbourne's COVID lockdown. And then they'd just have like roving death squads, pretty much. They're just disappearing people. So yeah, they'd just go door to door. They'd use all your data and algorithms and things like that, all your social media data and algorithms that you use from your home internet. Because they can hack, yeah. Because through Ausgrid, they can hack pretty much anything. They can turn any electrical appliance into a listening device. And so they'll use that to listen in. And if they hear you say anything like, this is bullshit, like, are we really even at war with China? Like, I haven't seen any nothing's exploded near me. And then they'd send around the goon squad and you'd disappear. They'd just disappear in the dark, in the cover of a lockdown. Yeah. Yeah. If that's assuming that you hadn't died of thirst because they've cut the water supply. You haven't died of dysentery because they've stopped sewage treatment. You haven't starved to death because they've cut the food supply. They control all the supermarkets. Yeah. Or you haven't been poisoned to death because they've poisoned all the food in your local area. That's why they were so adamant about only having we just want a few. We only want we want 3 or 4 big supermarkets, and that's it. That's it. We don't want independent delis and local mini marts and things like that. We only want the big fucking corporates. We want the Coles, we want Woolies, we want Aldi, we want IGA, the big national chains. Because then that way they can spike everything at the same time. Yeah. It's easier because then they can just lock off that food supply. Yeah. It's like a node. They can just well, okay. All right, there's an uprising in Cabramatta. Shut down the Woolies. And then they stop supplying that, and then they're fucked. And then if they try and leave, they just go bang, because roadblocks are set up. Yeah. Electric cars all have computer chips in them. Yeah. The Silicon Valley Nazis had the same plan. All this self-driving car horseshit is horseshit for that reason. And they were going to malfunction the cars at the same time. So they just lock you in and then automatically drive you off a fucking bridge or something like that. Yeah. Yeah. But the Australian SAS's plan, the crux of it, was heavily reliant on their control of the water, of the supply of fresh water in Australia, and the plan to just shut it down. They were just going to cut the supply of water to certain segments of the population. Yeah, it was going to be exactly like Mad Max. Exactly. Yeah. And then it's easy. It's extremely easy to poison people. Then, yeah, you just leave like a case. Like if people are dying of thirst, you just leave like a case of tainted spring water on the street. It's got rice in it, whatever. Yeah. So, fuck you, Australian SAS. You fucking scumbags. Yeah, we were that close, by the way. We were that fucking close. Now, the Australian SAS actually had a plan. They were one of the most powerful factions in the world. They were. Yeah. And they were going to try. They were going to make a play for world domination. Australia. Yeah. Yeah. They were going to use us as like Australia as a headquarters, basically. Yeah.
From the majestic icebergs that fill the harbour to the quaint and colourful villages that nestle the shoreline. This place is akin to a mystical fantasy world. But it's what lies beneath this ancient land that feeds modern demands. The minerals used in everything from electric cars to mobile phones, missiles, fighter jets and satellites. As you'll see tonight, Greenland has the world's largest deposits of rare earth minerals, which the rest of us want, including Australia.
The project itself, it's enormous. In fact, it's a freak of nature.
Up until recently, people barely knew where Greenland was. Now it's at the centre of a new type of gold rush, which has presidents and prime ministers desperate to control it.
I think we're going to get it. One way or the other, we're going to get it.
It's a land grab that has outraged the locals.
You cannot buy us. We are not for sale.
But the gamble is their minerals are. And incredibly, it's Australian mining leading the bidding.
This is wealth for this country and for its citizens. And we are here to unlock it.
And if they do, they'll break China's crippling monopoly on the rare earth market.
So right now, that's why there's such a race for rare earths.
Kind of feels like we're on a Mad Max adventure.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah.
A race that's taken us to one of the most epic places on Earth.
Yeah, that's the SAS. That mining operation is the SAS. That's the SAS trying to take over Greenland and its rare earths. Yeah. Yeah. In preparation for the war. Yeah. Yeah. So end of 2027, that's when they were planning to do it. Dog shit. Yeah, absolute dog shit. I'm going to wrap it up, I think, because that's all I really had to say. The Australian SAS, just when you thought you couldn't hate them more, you can. Turns out you can. You've been watching No Pictures of a Bird, a podcast by Mr. Tapscott. I'm Mr. Tapscott.